Hey guys, so in the video that the Lord released for me to share with everyone in regards to deconstructing a love spell attack, and also how this is a specific tactic of the enemy in this current timeline we're in to keep his children ensnared. And love spells don't always have to be romantic in the sense. Think of fairy tale stories and how they have different outcomes, but they're still within a territory of satanic fate. So in the video I do break that down, and if you have any questions or if there's a little bit of confusion in what I explained, let me know. I can make a follow-up video to further explain, because I didn't want the video to be too long. It ended up being long anyways, but I'm being obedient as the Lord wants his children to understand that it is an attack, but it doesn't have to prosper and it doesn't have to keep you snared or captive. Nonetheless, I want to circle back to explaining something that's commonly misunderstood, and it's always giving credit to Jezebel. Like, it seems like everybody that I see who has touched on deliverance always just gives way too much credit to Jezebel. Jezebel is a principality, but she's not the only principality. There are other Jezebelic type demons that have similarities to the same traits and characteristics the Bible gives. So when the Bible gave this, it was to help you keep an open mind to the fact that one construct doesn't limit it just as it is. Just like the Father says there are depths of the ocean we can't even comprehend, we also have to understand that the demonic kingdom is set up very strategic, and one principality can't do it all. They work as a team. It's a kingdom. And so in that video, I explained how the Lord gave me this visual of it being a company, a corporation, being like something with like fate. In the video I broke down, and the principality within that dominion of fate is Jezebel. And if Jezebel is like a franchise and fate is like the company, I gave the visual of using like a fast food chain restaurant. So you have the main restaurant, however there's different franchises across the globe, right? You can have one company having like 5 franchises within like a 4-block radius, right? And so each franchise represents a principality, because within that location there is employees, there's managers, right? Managers are strongmen, employees are the other unclean spirits and things that keep the functionality of that principality's placement. And then you have partnerships, and you would think, what are partnerships? And as the Lord led me to explain, partnerships are simply what they do within a community. So it's like you go for breakfast at a fast food chain and they give away free hash browns to kids who are in the 2nd grade. That's a partnership within the area, right? Within that territory. But the territory that the principality is abiding is a dominion. And this is why when we are believers, we operate in the dominion of Christ. It's like this golden pass that gives you freedom in and out of various territories. You're not limited to what the constructs of what the enemy wanted. You can freely roam in the liberty of Christ. Now, it doesn't mean you're never going to have to go in and out of things, but this is why the Lord wants his children to understand this spiritual authority that we have, so we're not always just, oh, please hide me away from the battles, Lord. I don't want to battle anymore. I'm tired. Help me. He wants you to see, like, you don't have to be stuck in a battle just because you're in a certain territory. You wear the dominion of Jesus Christ, and just like Joshua and all the Israelites in ancient time, you go into territories and tell them, listen, this isn't your territory, principality. This is Christ's dominion, through what he's telling me to go and establish an altar of praise where you have erected one of witchcraft, where you have erected one of poverty, where you have erected one of whatever that's causing his flow within that city, within that town, within that neighborhood, right? Because in the visual of a franchise, you have different locations. So it doesn't necessarily mean, like, you ever been in an area where they only have one fast food coffee shop that you love, but it's the only one in that whole entire city? Like, listen, it happens even with like internet companies and stuff. So think about this in the spiritual realm. Nonetheless, I hope I'm explaining this well, because the Lord wants me to circle back and explain that people are giving way too much credit to something that was symbolically supposed to show you that there's more. And we see this with Greek and Roman mythology. You didn't just have Hera, you had Aphrodite, you had other Medusas, you had other deities, as the Lord called them. He called them the goddesses of fate, right? Fate is a dominion. It's a satanic celestial host. And the principalities are these women, these Jezebelic featured women that operate. And that's why you can have somebody in a completely different culture still operating underneath with the same kind of imagery that Jezebel had, right? You can't sit here and say, oh, Jezebel is just all there is to it, and this is just what it is. The Lord is not limited to the constructs of his word. The Pharisees and Sadducees did that, and when Jesus came to give deeper revelation and insights into why he gave those guidelines or what that looks like in relationship with him, they rejected him because it wasn't working. But he is the word made manifest. So why would we limit him to just a book when he came in human form to show you the fulfillment of the word, not just to worship him freely in spirit and truth, but to navigate the deep mysteries, because he wants you to know. It's his language. He wants you to speak his language. You're a citizen of heaven. So nonetheless, I'm trailing off. I get a little passionate with this, and why the Lord considers fate a dominion, because when you can trick somebody to staying in that dominion, they're staying within an orchestrated fate, which is satanic. If you watch that video, God explained it. It's something that isn't in accordance to his destiny, in accordance to your book of life. So Satan has a plan, God has one. There is no gray area in between. So if you're still navigating outside of his dominion, you're going into Goshen, right? Egypt, Goshen. God always gives this correlation. You're hot, you cold, because you really do have to migrate. We're pilgrims for a reason. We're pilgriming through these satanic dominions. And once we make it into deeper revelation with the Lord and relationship, we go back and we set captives free with that authority, because now we see with eyes who see, oh, this is what's going on. Like, with the Canaanites and the way that they thought that was their territory and their land, even though God had ordained otherwise. So it was a war. It was a full-on war. So we're always in war. There's always going to be battles. There's always going to be things. It's just about you shifting into authority to recognize, this isn't my battle right now. Oh, I see this is happening to this brother in Christ, that there's somebody putting a love spell on him because I had a dream he was wearing a red attire, or a woman was wearing a red bikini. So instead of you looking at it like, oh, this person, especially if you know they're abiding in Christ, if they have other things, that's also a way to intercede. I'm going way too far into it. Let me keep it on this. But if you see that, then that's the Lord showing you somebody is attacking them. They're trying to put them under a love spell. And I want you to raise up, take that sword and slice the enemy that's doing that, especially if I'm giving you eyes to see. Because I don't want this child freaking out. I want you to see that this is going on. Why do we limit his support to just physical resources? You know how powerful prayer is. Nonetheless, I'm telling you, I keep trailing off, and the Lord had me come to explain this. So in the video, I break down that, yes, there are different corporations, principalities with different strongmen, managers, employees, and different partnerships, and how they attack a neighborhood, a town, a community, certain things that just kind of exist within that, right? And the Lord wants you to see that when somebody does a love spell, it's like 3 corporations attacking that person. This is where you get legions. You have 3 franchises, right, that are all in the same dominion, that work together, because each manager runs their place differently. They may not agree with the other manager, but when they have an agenda, they link up together. So now you have legion, you have many. It's too much to name because it's too many employees, it's too many partnerships within the community, it's too many principalities and strongmen that have joined together. And so when somebody is being attacked, because as the Lord mentioned, a love spell is not just one master spell, and this is just what it is. It sometimes takes years, sometimes it takes months or weeks. And a lot of these people who have sold out to evil are in it for the long haul. You have some people that you would think, why are they doing witchcraft when they are in poverty? Because they wanted power. They don't care about the physical possessions. They wanted the power. So they don't mind sacrificing things of the physical to be able to dwell within the spiritual. Yet Christians are the exact opposite. We want the physical. We don't want the spiritual. We doubt God. Our God is the supernatural God, right? He's not a theory. He's not a concept. These things are real. So always pray for confirmation and discernment. But to continue what I'm trying to get to,